Hello YouTube, I'm Tim and welcome to another one of my DVD and Blu-ray updates. I have a few DVDs to show off that I bought last month. And one other thing to show off. Something I bought at Dollar Tree. See, it's a Coca-Cola glass shaped like the can, but it's glass. Now on to DVDs I bought. Easter Sunday, I always go to church on Easter Sunday in the morning, and then afterwards I usually like to go DVD bargain hunting at Rite Aid. Well, I did that again this year. Bought 2 DVDs. First, The Little Rascals in color, the best of Pete the Pooch. It has the episodes The Pooch, For Pete's Sake, Dogs is Dogs, Pups is Pups, and as a bonus features it's got Be Honest and Dogs of War. Those are 2 uncut Little Rascals episodes. It says join the entire Rascals gang as the spotlight centers on our favorite 4-legged mischief maker Pete the Pooch. Now in color for the very first time, watch as Pete moves from rags to riches, see Pavlov's spell theory get sorely tested, watch the boys try to strike an unusual deal with the toy store owner until Pete destroys his shop. Each featured episode in this collection has been fully restored and is presented in color in the original black and white. As a special feature, we've included 2 additional uncut Little Rascals episodes, Be Honest and Dogs of War. And it's listed being in English 2.0 mono, and then it's color 2009. These are black and white. Well, I guess they did the colorization 2009, and then the actual shorts are the original black and white shorts are from 1930 to 1934, and it's 108 minutes and it's full frame. It's from Legend Films, who does all those colorization work of mainly public domain films, but they do some colorization of some non-public domain films as well. And then one movie I don't own on DVD or Blu-ray until Easter Sunday this year, Grease. It's the Rockin' Rydell edition, but since I bought it bargain hunting, it doesn't have the black leather jacket cover. Yeah, some of these had a black leather jacket that zipped up as like a slip cover for this DVD, but I'm starting to think that maybe those were limited editions. And this has got special features, the Rydell sing along, rock along with your favorite Grease songs, 11 deleted extended alternate scenes, DVD launch party, a collection of memorable moments from the 25th anniversary DVD launch party, Grease memories from John and Olivia, the moves behind the music, Thunder Roadsters, and much, much more. And it's in some sort of widescreen format. It says it's a widescreen version enhanced for 16:9 TVs and Dolby Digital English 5.1 surround, English 2.0 surround, and French 2.0 surround, and there's English subtitles. On the top it says, Grease is the one that you want. Go back to high school with Pink Lady Sandy, Olivia Newton-John, leader of the Bad Boy T-Birds, Danny, John Travolta, and a rockin' and rollin' all-star cast. Available for the first time as a remastered special edition and featuring all new bonus materials. Grease Rockin' Rydell edition is the word. And then there were 2 DVDs I bought off of Amazon. I either bought them in April or I bought them at the start of May. I can't remember when. One's from VCI Entertainment. The name of the game is Kill. And from what I understand, this is one that probably will never be out on Blu-ray because the film elements they found for this DVD weren't in good enough shape to do a Blu-ray, so unless better film elements are found, we're just stuck with a DVD. But it is in widescreen, 1.78 by 1. It's listed as being anamorphic widescreen, but I'm not sure how accurate that is because VCI tends to list things as being in an anamorphic widescreen even when they're just letterboxed. And it looks like this has got a good amount of extras. Introduction by documentary filmmaker Daniel Griffith. Audio commentary with screenwriter Gary Crutcher, moderated by Daniel Griffith. Psycho Sister making the name of the game is Kill. An all-new making of documentary featuring exclusive interviews with screenwriter Gary Crutcher, Stan Lee. It's a different movie. Guess that they mean the one movie from the 70s about the guy who has a bunch of snakes. And then cinematographer Vilmos Zsigmond, Deliverance, composer Stu Phillips, Battlestar Galactica, and filmmaker historian Joe Dante, Gremlins, writer film historian Tim Lucas, Video Watchdog, and more. Schlockmeister, Joe Solomon, Unreals, the cinematic history of producer-distributor Joe Solomon, told through trailers. This features audio commentary by film historian Chris Poggiali, Temple of Schlock, an extensive promotional gallery and rare TV spot, and more. It's listed as being not rated. VCI Entertainment presents Joe Solomon's 1968 psychological thriller The Name of the Game is Kill from screenwriter Gary Crutcher, Stanley, and television director Gunnar Hellstrom. Gunsmoke. Lost for over 4 decades, audiences will at last be able to experience this drive-in suspense film on a special edition DVD restored from archival film elements and loaded with exclusive bonus features. While hitchhiking along a desert highway in rural Arizona, Hungarian refugee and drifter Jack Lord, Hawaiian 5-0, is given a lift by an attractive young girl, Susan Strasberg. The trip, she was also in Psych Out and a bunch of other movies, to a nearby ghost town. There, her family, consisting of her 2 sisters and their estranged mother, managed an old gas station. One by one, the sisters reveal to him clues to their shattered past. Slowly, the drifter becomes entangled in their web of deceit and desire, leading to one of the most surprise shock endings ever filmed. Co-starring Colin Wilcox, To Kill a Mockingbird, and Tisha Sterling, Coogan's Bluff. This 1960s drive-in thriller will keep you spellbound. You can't buy a ticket to see this movie unless you pledge not to reveal the surprise shock ending. Contains moments of Bava-like brilliance. Joe Dante, director of Gremlins. So this one will probably won't have a Blu-ray release anytime soon unless they find better film elements, or maybe the film negatives magically show up. And then one other movie I got that hasn't been out on Blu-ray, and I think this DVD is out of print. It's one of the cult movies that Dark Sky Films put out on DVD. And it seems like a lot of their stuff is either out of print or a few stuff like Bonnie's Kids and the Centerfold Girls, they upgraded as a Blu-ray double feature. So I'm guessing they still have rights to those two films, but Simon King of the Witches, Shout Factory has, but they licensed that to Code Red, and I'm thinking that Shout Factory might have rights to some of the films that Dark Sky Films used to have, because Simon King of the Witches is on Shout Factory TV, and looks like they licensed it out to Code Red for a Blu-ray. But here, the 70s R-rated comedy, cult movie comedy, The Gay Deceivers. And it doesn't give any rating on this, but I'm pretty sure this is rated R. It says 40 years before Chuck and Larry were pronounced anything, Danny and Elliot were the gay deceivers, sexually hip, the New York Times. We have two guys. To avoid being sent to Vietnam, Danny, Kevin Coughlin, star of Mary Jane and the Young Runaways, and Elliot, Larry Casey of the erotic adventures Robinson Crusoe. And Larry Casey was also in a very early Roger Corman New World Pictures drive-in movie called The Student Nurses, which I'm surprised they don't mention that one. They have to mention an erotic version of Robinson Crusoe. Appear before the draft. Yeah, Danny and Elliot appear before the draft board claiming to be a homosexual couple. Although the boys are declared unfit for duty, a suspicious Army Colonel, Jack Sterrett of Blazing Saddles, decides to confirm their story, forcing the bosom buddies to lease a love nest on the queer side of town. When their lifestyle costs Elliot his job at a posh country club and Danny the trust of his stewardess girlfriend, the pair begins to wonder if beating the draft is worth all the trouble. The Gay Deceivers is a rare theatrical film from TV veteran Bruce Kessler, the A-Team Baywatch Nights, and features a larger-than-life performance by Michael Greer, Fortune, and Men's Eyes, and he was also in Messiah of Evil with Mariana Hill. And it says Michael Greer is one of Hollywood's first openly gay actors, but he played a straight character in Messiah of Evil. Praised for its merciless lampoon of American homophobia and condemned for setting back the gay rights movement, The Gay Deceivers is a unique satire in the vein of Tootsie and Victor Victoria, set against the backdrop of a Hollywood that no longer exists and societal prejudices that haven't changed in half a century. It's in anamorphic widescreen 1.8 by 1, 2.0 Dolby Digital Mono, runs 91 minutes, and special features, they have from race cars to gay bars, interview with director Bruce Kessler, still gallery, and a radio spot. Doesn't list any theatrical trailers, even though I did find a theatrical trailer on YouTube. And that trailer I saw is pretty interesting because I found out that the late Ron Gans, alias Ron Kennedy, who narrated all those 70s New World Pictures movie trailers for Roger Corman, narrated the trailer for this, and it even stars in this one, playing a gay man. But I don't think Ron Gans was gay. And then those were all the DVDs I had to show. And let's see. Here is a box I'm storing a bunch of my Blu-rays in, and if you're wondering if I'm going to be doing an update video on all these, no. Only a few of these were Blu-rays that I bought recently. The rest were Blu-rays I bought months ago. So, on Amazon, they had two most recent drive-in cult movies from Severn Films available on Blu-ray. Drive-In Massacre. Shout out to Toddy Walnuts. I think you got this one. I believe you did, Todd. Can't remember if you did or not, or if you just got the 88 Films version. But I think you did say you got this one as well. The funny thing about this Blu-ray, it doesn't even list this as being widescreen. It says it's 1080p HD, but it doesn't list it being in widescreen, but I'm pretty sure it's in widescreen. And this has a few bonus features: audio commentary with director Stu Seagull, Drive-In Days interview with star co-writer John F. Goff, Norm Sheridan recalls Drive-In Massacre, Making the Massacre interview with director Stu Seagull, and a theatrical trailer. And I'm not 100% sure, but I believe the actress from the Hills Have Eyes movies, can't remember her name, she was in Hills Have Eyes and Hills Have Eyes 2, she played Ruby, and she was in Eaten Alive with Robert Englund. I'll read a little bit from the back of the case. Grim, bloody, and incredibly entertaining. MondoExploito.com. The sleazy 70s slasher classic, restored and remastered for the first time ever. It was one of the few true slasher movies to predate Halloween and Friday the 13th. Remains the closest you'll ever come to an actual seedy 70s drive-in experience. It's a hot summer night in Southern California, and the local Passion Pit is packed with patrons. But when a sword-wielding psycho begins carving up customers, it'll unspool a grubby cavalcade of creepy carnies, peeping perverts, graphic decapitations, and an ending you have to see here to believe. John F. Goff, The Fog, Bruce Kimball, Love Camp 7, and co-writer George Blackflower, Back to the Future, star in this nasty slab of 70s sleaze, directed by adult film and episodic television veteran Stu Seagull. Insatiable, now packed with all new special features, restored from the original camera negative, recently discovered in the ruins of the Skyview Drive-In movie theater near Oxnard. Grim and dirty 70s exploitation nirvana, theaterofguts.com. It's in color, 1976. Runs 74 minutes. And that's about as I think that's about as long as the public domain copies of it run. And then I always liked the Who's Exorcist rip-offs and clones, so I got Kathy's Curse, which Seven Films gave an authorized release to. It's had a bunch of really crummy DVD releases via the public domain DVD budget labels. It says, the infamous Canexploitation classic now fully restored for the first time ever. Forget what you've seen in blurry bootlegs and crappy budget packs. This first ever restoration of the depraved Canadian shocker is being hailed as the genre rediscovery of the year. In 1947, a young girl is roasted alive in a car accident. 30 years later, her grown brother returns to their childhood home with his mentally unstable wife and sweet daughter Kathy. But when the dead aunt's vengeful spirit possesses the child, it will unleash an unnerving nightmare of creepy mediums, demonic dolls, and plenty of sick 70s foul-mouthed Muppet mayhem. Experience one of the strangest Exorcist, Omen, Carrie-inspired grindhouse hits like never before, now transferred in 2K from the recently found film elements and featuring revealing new extras with long-lost star Randy Allen and producer, director, co-writer Eddie Matalon. It simply needs to be witnessed like a two-headed baby in a jar. Final old girl. And let's see. Special features, director's cut, alternate US release cut, tricks and treats, an interview with director Eddie Matalon, Kathy and Mum, interview featurette with actress Randy Allen and costumer Joyce Allen, so Randy Allen's mom did the costumes for this movie, and audio commentary on the US cut by Birth Movies Death critic Brian Collins and filmmaker Simon Barrett. Introduction to Cinematic Void screening in American cinema by, I can't say that word, by Earth Movie's Death critic Brian Collins, and there's a theatrical trailer. And it says it runs 91 minutes, but there's two different cuts of the movie. I know one of the cuts is shorter, so I'm guessing that the 91-minute cut is the uncut version, and that the alternate US release cut is the shorter version. And it's an HD, region ABC, audio, mono English, French, Italian, Spanish, but doesn't list any subtitles for deaf and hard of hearing. And it doesn't list it as being widescreen, but I'm pretty sure it's widescreen. And then I bought a Blu-ray ROM disc of a movie put out by Shout Factory. That they've made this Blu-ray ROM edition exclusive to Amazon.com. It's one of their Roger Corman titles that they released onto DVD first as a DVD double feature. With the sequel, well, they released just the Blu-ray, just the first movie, on a manufactured on-demand Blu-ray. Roger Corman's Big Bad Mama, starring Angie Dickinson, Tom Skerritt, and William Shatner. And I'm pretty sure this doesn't have any extras, but it's some widescreen and it's uncut, so it's actual Blu-ray quality, so I'm more than happy to get the Blu-ray editions whenever there's a Blu-ray edition. And then I bought some Blu-rays directly from Shout, and one one of their Shout Select Blu-rays, collector's edition of Streets of Fire, and this, since I bought it with the Blu-ray, or since I bought it from their website, I got a free poster of this new artwork that's on the slipcover. But I have the poster in the other room, and the poster just looks like this, what you see here. And it has a reversible cover, and I reverse the cover. I open this up, and this is the original artwork. I was glad that they made the cover reversible and included this original artwork. Oh, and I'm running close to a half hour, but this is a 2-disc Blu-ray, and it's full of extras. It has the movie on the first disc, and then all the extras are on the second disc, and it's widescreen. It's region A locked. Oh, and this hat. Yeah, it mentions that the star Michael Paré was in Bad Moon, but they failed to mention that he was also in Eddie and the Cruisers, another movie that Shout Factory put out on Blu-ray. Yeah. Getting close to a half hour, so I want to try to wrap this up as quickly as possible. And from Ronin Flicks, I bought a few Blu-rays from Code Red. Well, I've got a few more from Shout Factory. Yeah. Just 2 more. What I'm doing with this box, I'm mainly keeping all my Roger Corman Blu-rays all in one box, whether they be the Shout Factory Roger Corman line or any other Roger Corman related films that got released to Blu-ray, and then I'm keeping all my more recent Blu-ray buys in there. From Shout Factory, this website, I bought The Screaming Skull, and this one's been out as a public domain film quite often. And this was also on Mystery Science Theater 3000. So, since Shout Factory owns the rights to Mystery Science Theater 3000, now they included that Mystery Science Theater episode, The Screaming Skull, as an extra in standard definition. It lists there being the theatrical trailer as an extra, but there should be a few other extras. I think they included all the extras that were on the MST E3K DVD edition. They included an interview with the star that they shot for that separate DVD edition. And this is widescreen, it's region A. It's from 1958, and it's one that they got from MGM, even though it's public domain. MGM has the original film elements. And also from Shout Factory, the Naked Cage Women in Prison movie that Shout Factory licensed from MGM. And unlike that DVD edition and that 4-pack that Shout put out, which was from a videotape copy in full frame, this is an actual anamorphic widescreen 1.85 by 1. And this one's rated R, and it's from 1986, and it's put out by Canon Films originally, but Canon Films, like American International Pictures, which put out this film, The Screaming Skull, most of their stuff is owned by MGM, so Shout Factory had a deal with MGM and licensed a bunch of cult movies from them. That is it for my Shout Factory stuff. Then I bought a few Blu-rays from Ronin Flicks, Old Code Red. The first one is Roger Corman production. Nam Angels, which is a movie that's part biker gang movie and part war movie. And this has got a few extras. It has on-camera interview with star Vernon Wells, and you can watch it in Katarina's drive-in theater mode, where Katarina Lee Waters, who used to host the Scorpion releasing Nightmare Theater DVDs, does little wraparound on host segments, and this has the original trailer. In the film's brand new HD scan of the original 91-minute uncut version, and it's anamorphic widescreen, and it's from 1988. It's rated R, region A locked. And then, shout out to Toddy Walnuts again. And it looks like they had some of the slipcovers left, Todd, so I got the slipcover for Zeder. And it's a new HD transfer with the additional color correction exclusive to this release, interviews with director Pupi Avanti and star Gabriele Lavia, and it's in English or Italian with English subtitles, and the artwork is reversible, so underneath the slipcover has this artwork, but then the artwork is reversible and has the original US theatrical artwork, since this was released as Revenge of the Dead to American movie theaters sometime in the 80s. This is an anamorphic widescreen. It says 1.85 by 1, but I'm thinking that it'll probably be 1.78 by 1, since the 1.85 widescreen format always seems to get redone to 1.78 for DVDs and Blu-rays, so you don't get the black bars on the top and bottom of your TV screen, of your widescreen TV. I'd like to open this up, but I'm running short on time. So, another one to show off, another Roger Corman film put out by Code Red, Deadly Dreams, and this has a brand new 2K scan of the original IP, interpositive, on-camera interviews with director Kristen Peterson, actor-writer Tom Babs, or Babis, and co-star Dwayne Whittaker in the original trailer, and reversible artwork, and it's 79 minutes, high definition 1080p, 1.78 by 1, region A locked, rated R, 1988. You can see really close. Yeah, I'll have to take the Blu-ray out to show you the reverse artwork. I can get the disc out. And the reverse, you can see, is a skull. And then you see what looks like a couple young teenage or 20-something couple running. Yeah, and I love these reverse covers. Remember, Shout Factory used to do them with the Roger Corman line, and now they do them with their Scream Factory line, but the Scream Factory ones usually aren't as great. But I was happy with the one for Streets of Fire, which is on the Shout Select line. I think I will open this sucker up if I can. But after I open this Zeter up, that's going to have to be it. This video is going pretty long. I can just get this torn open. I can yeah. I'm not too fond of these slip covers. They don't really work that well for Blu-rays. They worked fine for DVDs, not so well on Blu-rays. They're a pain in the ass when it comes to Blu-rays, but I guess like a dust cover on a book, they come in handy. I just think of them like a dust cover for Blu-ray. And as you can see, that's the new artwork. New artwork. Blu-ray with the new artwork pressed onto it. And then the original US movie poster artwork, Revenge of the Dead. But this was originally called Zeter. I'm gonna switch it around, even though this movie isn't anything like what you see in this artwork. That's what it was called when it got released in the States. Another spaghetti horror film, not your typical zombie film like Night of the Living Dead or Dawn of the Dead, or even Demons is something more like Dawn of the Dead or Night of the Living Dead. This is just not your typical zombie movie from what I understand, but this misleading US artwork that American moviegoers to believe it was something like Night of the Living Dead or Dawn of the Dead. And it's listed as being copyrighted in 1982, but from what I understand, didn't get released in the States until 1985. That is Zeter. Yeah, I'm going with this reverse artwork. I just love this artwork better. Looks so much more neat. Probably would have pissed people off. It only had the original US artwork, since the artwork's misleading, but that's still a pretty neat artwork. And on one side, I thought that Katarina Lee Waters. No, I guess it was Deadly Dreams that she did some wraparound host segments. Revenge of the Dead, aka Zeter. And these Blu-ray slipcovers are just a pain in the ass to get on. Fudge. I shouldn't have reversed the artwork. Yeah. Stupid slipcover does not work now that I switched the artwork. Yeah. Now, recap. Here's my new Blu-ray box that I got my Streets of Fire Blu-ray and poster in from Shout Factory, and I'm keeping all my Roger Corman Blu-rays in here. Starting with the Shout Factory Corman, going into Scream Factory, and Code Red, and then Code Red Corman, and even a Scorpion releasing Corman, more Code Red Corman, one that he doesn't own anymore, or that Corman doesn't own anymore. It went back to the director. And then this Criterion David Cronenberg film, The Brood, was released by Roger Corman's New World Pictures, and then one released by Vinegar Syndrome, The Bees, that was released by Corman's New World Pictures, and then Scream Factory's Rabid, David Cronenberg film that Corman released here in the States, and then the new Roger Corman Death Race 2050. So that's my box of Corman. I wasn't going to show it originally, so sorry if I wasted your time. But now, recapping from Shout Factory and Amazon.com, Big Bad Mama Blu-ray ROM. And then from Code Red, Roger Corman's Deadly Dreams. And Code Red Ronin Flicks, Roger Corman's Nam Angels. And then another Code Red from Ronin Flicks, Z-Dare, Revenge of the Dead. And then from Shout Factory, Shout Select Blu-ray line, Streets of Fire, the Collector's Edition. And like the Scream Factory and the Corman DVDs and Blu-rays, it's got the original cover artwork as on the reverse, and then new cover artwork slipcover, and I've also got the limited edition poster, since I bought directly through their website. And then Women in Prison film from Scream Factory, The Naked Cage, and also Scream Factory, Screaming Skull. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, Naked Cage and the Screaming Skull. And then from Severn Films, Kathy's Curse Blu-ray, and then Drive-In Massacre Blu-ray from Severn. And then DVDs, Dark Sky Films, The Gay Deceivers, BCI Entertainment's The Name of the Game is Kill. And then from Paramount, Grease Rock and Roll Edition. And then from Legend Films, Little Rascals Best of Pete the Pooch colorized version, since Legend Films colorizes black and white films. So that is it for my DVD update. I'm Tim, and thanks for watching, and one more shot of my Coca-Cola can glass. So, thanks for watching. Come by again soon.